Good day to each and everyone. Welcome to English for Academic and Professional Purposes. I am Ma'am Ira Pearl Y. Aliwalas from Laiban Integrated School. I am glad to be part of your learning journey. And today, we will be learning about academic text and its structure. English for academic and professional purposes aims to enhance your communication skills, particularly in writing academic and professional compositions. It is also designed to develop your abilities to utilize appropriate language in academic writing from various disciplines using correct text structures. As we go on with our topic, make sure that you have your modules with you, pen and paper, and also a dictionary or a thesaurus. So, before we start, let me just ask you one question. What have you written so far? Have you written about your summer vacation or a Christmas vacation perhaps? How about a letter for a dear friend? How about a book report, a reaction paper, or a script for your stage play or a skit? Before we proceed, let us discuss first the non-academic text and academic text. So when we say non-academic text, these are the types of writings or letters such as skit writing. If you are writing a poem or an application letter, a friendly letter, okay, you are writing a composition about your summer vacation and your Christmas vacation. Therefore, those are the examples of non-academic text. Whereas when we see academic text, those are some examples are book review, movie review, if you're writing a proposal paper, a concept paper, and a research paper. When we say non-academic text, it is a type of writing that is personal, emotional, impressionistic, or subjective in nature. So when we say non-academic text, the tone is informal. It has an emotional appeal and it focuses more on the opinions of the author. On the other hand, academic text defined as critical, objective, specialized text written by experts or professionals in a given field using a formal language. Therefore, academic text is based on facts. It has solid basis, formal and technical and objective. Academic text is characterized as impersonal or objective. Therefore, if we are writing an academic text, avoid direct reference to people or feelings. Your academic text must be based on facts only. It should be data driven. Academic text is also technical. It is technical in the sense that when you are writing an academic text, you are using a vocabulary specific to the discipline. So what are the different disciplines? For example, in senior high school academic strands, we have ABM, which means accountancy, business and management. In HUMS, humanities and social sciences. And in STEM also, science, technology, engineering and mathematics. We also have TVL, Technical Vocational Livelihood Track, and Sports Track and Arts and Design Track. Therefore, if you are a professional and you are about to create an academic text, for example, you are a doctor, therefore, in your academic text, you must include specific terms or words that is only in your discipline. Okay, for example, virus, the medical terms, the medicines, and others. Okay, let's say, for example, you're also a teacher. Therefore, if you're a teacher, therefore you in writing an academic text, you are using the words only used by the teachers. For example, students, learners, lesson plans, okay, DLL, weekly home learning plan, and the others. Same also with different disciplines. For example, if you are an accountant, okay, you are a cook, you're a business manager, and others. Let's say, for example, the word virus. Virus is different if this word has been a part of the topic of ICT TVL students. For them, virus is a part of their computer programs, okay, or rather a destructive part of for the program. Where in fact, When this term was used by the STEM students, by the science and technology students, this virus can refers to the deadly virus. Okay, that's very common to us now. Now, what is academic writing all about? What are the specific examples of academic writing? Also, what are the characteristics and features of academic writing? We are about to know. A literary analysis is an example of an academic writing. How? A literary analysis essay examines, evaluates, and makes an argument about a literary work. As its name suggests, a literary analysis essay goes beyond mere summarization. It requires careful close reading of one or multiple texts and often focuses on a specific characteristic, theme, or motive. So, therefore, it is formal writing. Another example of an academic text is a research paper. A research paper uses outside information to support a thesis or make an argument. Research papers are written in all disciplines and may be evaluative, analytical, or critical in nature. Common research sources include data, primary sources such as historical records, and secondary sources such as peer-reviewed scholarly articles. Writing a research paper involves synthesizing this external information with your own ideas. Dissertation also includes in the list of academic text. A dissertation or thesis is a document submitted at conclusion of a PhD program. The dissertation is a book-length summarization of the doctoral candidate's research. Academic papers may be done as a part of a class, in a program of study, or for publication in an academic journal or scholarly book of articles around the theme by different authors. A dissertation can be for individual or groupings, so it depends on the program of the student or learner. Text structure. Text structure is an important feature of academic writing. Crafting an academic text or writing an academic text is like building a house or a home. You will need of different parts, such as a roof, a ceiling, a window, and a door. It also needs a strong foundation. So just like when you are writing your academic text, you need to have a strong foundation and it must have also different parts. And those parts are essential in creating a good and readable academic text. The text structure. A well-structured text enables the reader to follow the argument and navigate the text. In academic writing, a clear structure and a logical flow are imperative to a cohesive text. Therefore, if you are writing an academic text, the words that you are going to use, the grammar, and the lexical relationship between different elements of the words or the sentences must hold it together to form a cohesive text. Okay, so when we say cohesive text, it must be understood by your readers. Okay, you put together the words and the phrases to create a point. There are only two common structures of writing an academic text that you need to learn, which depends on the type of assignment that you are required to do. The first type of structure is the three-part essay structure, and the second type is the IMRAD structure. So what is the three-part essay structure and the IMRAD structure? The first structure of academic text is the three-part essay structure. The three-part essay structure is a basic structure that includes introduction, body, and conclusion. The introduction and the conclusion should be shorter than the body of the text. For shorter essays, one or two paragraphs for each of these sections can be appropriate. For longer text or thesis, they may be several pages long. So this is very familiar to you if you are writing an academic text. Okay, you are very familiar when your teacher asks you to do a three-part essay. You already know that it composes of introduction, a body, and a conclusion. In writing an introduction, the purpose is to clearly tell the reader of the topic, the purpose, and the structure of the paper. As a rough guide, an introduction might be between 10 to 20% of the length of the whole paper and has three main parts. And what are the parts of introduction? The first part of the introduction is the most general information, such as the background and or the definitions. The second part of your introduction includes the core of the introduction, where you show the overall topic, purpose, your point of view, hypothesis, and the research questions depending on what kind of paper you are writing. And the third part, and the most common, specific information describing the scope and structure of your paper. So those are the three important parts of writing the introduction. The first one is the general information that includes your background and the definition. The second part is the core of the introduction, which you have to show, which you have to write the overall topic, purpose, point of view, hypothesis, and even the research questions. And the third one is you must describe the scope and structure of your paper. You should write your introduction after you know both your overall point of view. It is a persuasive paper, and the whole structure of your paper. You should then revise the introduction when you have completed the main body. So, you don't have to finish all the introduction first. If you're writing an academic paper, you must write a rough draft first. Okay, and after you finish the whole paper, that is the time that you will revise your introduction and include all the details. In writing the body, it develops the question, what is the topic about? It may be elaborately directly on the topic sentence by giving definitions, classifications, explanations, contrast, examples, and evidences. This is considered as the heart of the essay because it expounds the specific ideas for the readers to have a better understanding of the topic. It usually is the largest part of the essay. Okay, so in crafting the body, it will now, or you're going to answer now the question, what is the topic all about? And in answering the questions, you're going to elaborately explain, give the definitions, the classifications, the explanations, contrast, examples, and the most important is the evidences that you found and find related to your topic or to your thesis or title. This is considered as the heart of the essay. Remember that one of the most important part of the three-part essay is the body. It contains all the important and the meaty details of your research or of your academic text. Now, we will go to the last part of the three-part essay, which is writing the conclusion. In conclusion, it is closely related to the introduction and often describe its mirror image. This means that if the introduction begins with the general information and ends with specific information, the conclusion moves in the opposite direction. The conclusion usually begins by briefly summarizing the main scope or structure of the paper. So see to it that your introduction and your conclusion is interrelated. Confirms the topic that was given to the introduction or the introduction, ends with a more general statement and how this topic relates to its context. This may take the form of an evaluation of the importance of the topic, implications for future research, and or recommendation about a theory or practice. Now, after the three-part essay, we will go to the IMRAD structure. The sections of the IMRAD structure are introduction, methods, results, and discussion. The introduction usually depicts the background of the topic and the central focus of the study. So they are almost the same with the three-part essay about what you're going to write in the introduction part. The methodology lets your readers know your data collection methods, research instrument, employed sample size, and so on. So in IMRAD structure, you now are going to include your data collection methods, also with the sample size in the research. Then the last part, the results and discussion, states the brief summary of the key findings or the results of your study. Okay, so if you're going to look at it, the IMRAD structure focuses on the research problem. Okay, whereas in the three-part essay, you can include the others light topic. For example, you're about to write an essay on the COVID-19 or about the pandemic. Therefore, IMRAD structure is not the one that you should use. Okay, you should go for the three-part essay structure that is more suitable in writing under that topic. But if you want to go to further research, okay, you are going to conduct a research about the pandemic, therefore, you must use the IMRAD structure. But you're going to research only. Okay, we're going to search about the pandemic, about the COVID-19. Therefore, the use of three-part essay is more suitable. Now we will go to the features of academic writing. In the features of academic writing, we are about to know what are the characteristics of an academic writing, okay? Or through this, you will know that you are writing academic text if you have these features. Before we start with the discussion of the features of academic text, let us go back to the two types of text, the non-academic text and the academic text. So, take a look at the difference of the two. Okay, so in the non-academic text, these are the types of text or the compositions that is lighter. Okay, compared to the academic text, this academic text is a little bit heavier. Okay, on the part that you need to do some research. You also need to find some basis on the claims that you're about to write. Okay, whereas in academic text, it is a compositions that you're about to express yourselves only. Okay, your emotions, your feelings. Whereas in writing academic text, you don't need to put your emotions or your feelings in your paper. It must be based on facts. The first feature of academic writing is the purpose. The purpose of academic writing is to inform, to persuade, and to argue. It is also considered a formal mode of writing intended for academic or scholarly type of audience. So when we say it is formal mode of writing, you are not allowed to use any contractions. And also the purpose is to inform. Therefore, your data must be based on facts and research. If you're going to persuade someone, you must use credible data first. If you're about to argue, the purpose of your academic writing is to argue. Therefore, you must find solid evidences to support your claims. Okay? You will not use any data based on hearsay. Okay? Or for example, you find an idea from YouTube, or you find an idea in a Wikipedia. Okay? So those are not credible. Those are not 100% credible sources. Therefore, you as a writer of academic text, you must find other sources of information to support your data or claims. Okay? The second purpose or the second features of academic writing is the format. It usually includes an introduction, an overview of the topic discussed within the writing piece, and a conclusion which wraps up the final thoughts. You must use either be the three-part essay or the IMRAD structure. So we only have two types of format that you can use in writing your academic text. The third feature is the tone. So the tone that you must use in writing academic text is the academic tone. It must be professional and formal. So the fourth feature is the mode. It is also considered a formal mode of writing intended for academic or scholarly type of audience. Okay, so please remember, be formal. For academic writing is a formal type of writing. The last two features of the academic writing is the style and point of view. Style refers to the word choice, coherence, conciseness, and correctness. So the style must be correct all the way from introduction to the body. It must be coherent, understood by your intended readers. You must use the word carefully. You must include the appropriate jargon. Okay, and the last feature is the point of view. It is generally written in a third person point of view and tends to rely heavily on research, factual experimentation, and evidence, and the opinions of other educated scholars and researchers, rather than the opinions of the author. Okay, so take note of the POV. It must be written in the third person point of view. Your research or your academic writing must back up with data and research. If you're going to include the opinions, it must be based only on the opinions of educated scholars you found in your data or in your research, okay, rather than the opinions of the author. You as a writer, you as the author of the academic text, you are not allowed to include your opinion in your academic text. Okay, so we have to be clear in that. The subjects within academic writing are as limitless since anyone could write any subject provided that is written by scholarly context, and that the topic, stand, or argument is clearly stated and sustained all throughout the discussion. Okay, so make sure that if you're going to write your academic text, only one topic, no more, no less. Okay, you will not include different topics in one academic text. No, you must have your focus in your academic text. So take note, keep in mind that in writing academic text, you have to make sure that your statements are backed up with strong and valid evidence. Remember that every writing has its own organization patterns of the text. So same goes with writing an academic text. Now, in this lesson, we are about to tackle the different organization patterns of the text. The first organizational pattern of the text is called description. This is also regarded as one of the easiest patterns to use. This type of text structure features a detailed description of something to give the reader a mental picture. So say take note at the description, the details in the description. You must provide detailed description of something. Okay, so if you are about to describe the scenario or the status of of pandemic in the Philippines, therefore you must give a detailed description of your topic. The second pattern is what we call cause and effect. This structure presents the causal relationship between a specific event, idea, or concept that follow. The results of something are explained. For example, global warming is the tremendous increase of the global temperatures, which results due to the trapping of heat in the atmosphere. Okay, so you can use this pattern or this structure, the cause and effect. The third type of pattern is the comparison and contrast. This is a type of pattern that includes similarities and differences between two or more people, events, concepts, ideas, and others. Two or more things are described. Their similarities and differences are discussed. So, for example, the Technical Vocational Livelihood or TVL track is designed to provide students and job-ready skills that they will need in the future, while the academic track helps students prepare for the subject specialization for the college course to be taken in the future. Okay, so remember that in comparison and contrast, you need two events or concepts or ideas. You're going to describe them and you're going to include their similarities and differences. Order and sequence. This is a type of text structure that gives a reader a chronological of events or a list of steps in a procedure. For example, planting cactus and succulents is easy. First, so this is the order. First, prepare your pot, soil, and plant. Second, or next, put the soil into the pot. Then dig a little hole in the middle and put the plant in it. Okay, so if you take a look at the examples, so the sequencing is in there, and you used such words to denote the order. Okay, so that is our fourth structure, the order and sequence. Now here goes the last pattern of text, the problem solution. This problem solution sets up a problem or problems, explains the solution, and then discusses the effects of the solution. A problem is described and a response or solution is proposed or explained. For example, thousands of people have died since this pandemic broke out. What we can do for now is to stay at home, observe physical distancing, and wash hands often. So take a look at our problem. So we have take a look at the example. So we have the problem there. Our problem is about our pandemic. Okay, and now we have the writer uses a proposed solution. So what we can do for now is to stay at home, observe physical distancing, and wash hands often. Academic text is defined as critical, objective, specialized text written by experts or professionals in a given field using formal language. So keep in mind that when you are writing an academic text, you must write based on facts with solid evidence, formal language, and technical. Okay? So the point of view that you're going to use must be in the third person point of view. Keep in mind your purpose, why you are writing your academic text, whether to inform, to persuade, or to argue. And you can use either the three-part essay or the IMRAD structure. That would be all for today. I hope you learned something and remember the important details about the academic text and its structure. In case that you forgot those important points, you can watch this video over and over again until you master it. Thank you and see you next time.